La pupusas.
No, pupusas are, that's a food.
We got the scary story of La pupusas.
Welcome to the TLDR channel. Every week we dive deep into different Reddit threads to bring you the best and worst Reddit has to offer. This is the TLDR channel. We'll read the stories so you don't have to. Today's topic is Spooktober. I actually have two different categories. You will get to choose, Gutsy. So do you want dark encounters or do you want devil encounters?
No.
Dark encounters it is.
Yeah. Mine says Sark encounters.
Does it?
You spelled it wrong when you sent it to me.
Whoops.
That's okay. Title 1. Encounter with the he who shall not be named. No copyright infringement.
El Diablo.
Before I start this story, it's important for me... COVID.
Oh, whoops, I accidentally sent you the wrong one. My bad.
You did?
It's fine.
It's important for me to clarify that the paranormal here in the United States isn't seen as the same as it is in Mexico. From where my father's from and from who I heard the story here. Really, Coco?
Wow, she just had to make an entrance.
Here, at least from my experience, it's seen as nothing more than a cool and sometimes taboo subject to be into, and sometimes people consider it to be a sort of hobby. In Mexico, on the other hand, it's seen from a much different point of view. It's part of our culture. The same stories our great-grandparents heard are the same ones that are passed down to us. La Llorona.
La Llorona.
La Llorona.
Mm-hmm.
La Corona. Ah, Corona. Duendes, Nejales, Brujas, and even El Diablo were taught to treat these things with respect and to never take them lightly. To us, it's much more than just witnessing an old chair move on a blurry security cam, or maybe hearing footsteps in an empty room. It's part of our cultura. My father is not the type of man to seek attention. He's a humble, honest, hardworking man, and as a result, I wholeheartedly believe him.
Mm-hmm.
Since he could remember, he had the misfortune of being more sensitive to paranormal than most. What I mean by this is that all throughout his life, he has found himself face to face with most of the stories we're warned about. Even now, as a grown man, our entire family has grown accustomed to experiencing more than our fair share.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost as if sort of stuff follows us, not only him. This particular story takes place in Mexico when he was maybe 8 or 9. He was accompanying his grandfather, who was at the time working as a watchman at one of his friend's stores. What's a watchman?
Like a security guard, I think.
Huh. This specific store has also functioned as a warehouse, similar to stores like Costco or Sam's Club, but on a much smaller scale. It's a bodega, Aurora. Oh, he's scary sensitive, like you. He can sense it.
I don't think I'm that sensitive.
It was around 11 o'clock when they arrived, well past sunset and into the night. My great-grandfather and his friend had struck a deal, and whenever he was on his shifts, he could help himself to anything he wanted to eat, as long as he kept a list in order to make sure it wasn't marked down as stolen inventory. As they were getting ready for the night, my dad was told that he could choose anything he wanted to eat. My dad was excited to hear this, as it wasn't often that he was given the opportunity to choose anything from the store that wasn't necessity without having to worry about enough to pay for it. He wanted to make sure he had most of this opportunity and decided to go around the store looking for what he wanted the most. He finally made up his mind and settled on a bottle of chocolate milk. Hell yeah, this guy knows what he's doing, yeah. He started to make his way around the store and eventually found himself wandering the halls in search of the refrigerator aisle. After finding out it was in the back of the store, he hurriedly rushed towards the low buzzing hum of dozens of refrigerators. After running past the aisles and suddenly turning into the last aisle, he remembers an indescribable feeling of not only pure terror and true fear, but also an endless sense of despair. As he turned the corner, he was face to face with a tall, thin man. My father tells me that this man had to been at least 2 meters tall, and for us Americans, that doesn't make sense because it's not in feet. His initial reaction was to try and run away from him, but he couldn't. It was more than just paralyzed with fear. He felt an endless empty pit inside of him, as well as around him. Damn, he saw Dementor from Harry Potter.
I was thinking Slender Man, honestly.
Well, yeah, but that, the Dementor stuff is happening. He doesn't remember the face of the man, and he doesn't know how much time passed. He had lost the sense of where he was, and at the time he could not, for the life of him, tell anything except for the fact that it was him and the man in front of him. He does remember, however, that this man was neatly groomed and seemed very well kept. Alright, not a Dementor. Despite not remembering his face, he does recall he was staring at him. He does not remember what happened after. He only remembers coming to his senses on the floor in his grandfather's arm. Bro, this guy, that thing touched him. Being questioned about what happened, his face was full of tears. All he could manage to choke out was that the man was there, over and over. My grandfather's first thought, sorry, Peter, it was really loud, was that there was someone had broken in and rushed to my father's back, or where the only lockable room was located, the owner's office. He told my father to wait out inside the office and that no matter what, to not open the door for anyone. Yeah. He would be back as soon as he checked the store to make sure it was safe. But the memory of the man was still all too fresh in my father's mind, and he decided he'd rather brave running to the man again with his grandfather by his side rather than remaining alone in the store. Despite his grandfather's believing it wasn't safe, he could see the terror in my father's eyes and complied with my father's wish. After checking through each and every corridor and deciding that the store was safe, they both headed back to the office, where my dad explained everything. For the most part, it seemed to be an isolated incident, as my great-grandfather later that morning told the owner what had happened, and he claimed it was the first he had heard of anything of that sort inside the store. It was worth noting, however, that the store was torn down not 2 months later after this incident, and the owner seemed to give no more of the explanation other than he was losing money. Despite my dad not daring to outright say what he thinks he saw that night, it's more than apparent to me that based on his description of the man and the feelings that overcame him, I think it's safe to assume the man he saw another than El Diablo. The demolition of the store does nothing but further fuel my theory of what my father saw that night. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my god.
TLDR. The author's father had a paranormal encounter with a tall, well-groomed man in the store in Mexico when he was a child. The encounter left him paralyzed and with fear and deep sense of despair. The store was torn down shortly after the incident, leading to the author to believe it was the man his father got El Diablo.
You have a very interesting way of speaking.
Yeah, I honestly don't know if they'll be able to hear that last part. I kind of just moved it closer. I'm not sure if that works. Is this changing in tune? Can you guys tell me?
You're annoying.
I know.
Okay. So what do you think of the story?
Really? I thought they would be better.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't that good.
I thought it was good.
I saw a guy that kind of took care of his freshly groomed, and I got scared. Come on, man. I mean, it's not that good.
Fainted.
That's not really that scary.
Yeah.
That's kind of lame, honestly. And he's just assuming it's El Diablo. It could be a ghost, Could have been anything.
Honestly, I thought it was Slender Man with how tall he is.
Well, Slender Man doesn't have a face.
This one didn't either.
No, he couldn't remember his face, but he said he was well groomed. Slender Man also doesn't have hair.
Oh. I mean, he doesn't recall, so. Yeah. I don't know that was El Diablo. But also, you said you wanted the lesser scary one, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, if this is the lesser scary one, it's not scary at all. I mean, in reality, you have no idea if anything actually happened. I mean, what if he just slipped and fell after he was drinking that juicy chalky milk, and then just like had like a quick dream, and his grandma was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "I saw someone." You know.
I saw someone.
Well, a long story for not being that controversial.
Okay, but in Mexico, I would have to argue that.
No. In Mexico. How they always say it in movies. In Mexico.
I don't think that's how they say it. I think that's how you perceive it.
Mexico.
Okay, that sounds better. That's fairly accurate now. I would say that in Mexico, a lot of supernatural entities reside there. Well, I mean, a lot of entities reside everywhere, right? But in Mexico, I feel like it's so big because the culture, it's embedded in the culture, like the story says. Like we have legends of La Llorona, El Cucuy, like...
Cuckoo bird.
No. Actually, I don't know what El Cucuy is supposed to look like. We also have La Mano Peluda, or Pelusa. Someone comment.
La Papusas.
No! Pupusas are... That's a food.
We got the scary story of La Papusas.
La Mano Peluda. I think it's Peluda. Like, we should visit Mexico.
That was your scary story? That's not gonna scare anyone.
No! This was... Well, I mean... As you know, I don't read them, so maybe I should. Sorry.
My scary
I thought it was gonna be good.
name should be Harry Foot. A hobbit. Call me the Hobbit. And there's no indication of why he would think it is El Diablo. Like he's just gonna visit him. He's like, you think El Diablo has nothing better to do than just go around in a store and be like, just pop out of nowhere? Come on, bro. That's definitely not him. Why would he waste that? He's like, oh, I got this one kid in the store. No, ain't no demon's gonna hype him up after he tells that story. He's gonna be embarrassed. Everyone's gonna call him dumb and call him a little because that's not a scary story. Alright.
True. Like, go check it out, I guess.
Scary kid in a grocery store. Get out of here, bro.
Oh, that's funny. Well, you made it not scary because
it's not scary.
Okay.
There's not a single point. All he described was like the history of Mexico and its belief in paranormal culture compared to the US. Well, not really compared, it just said in Mexico. But and then it just goes to the story about him seeing a dude in the grocery store. Well, that's not scary.
A tall dude.
Yeah, but he got scared and well-groomed, doesn't remember his face, but all he remembered was being scared and fearful and the dread around him. That's not scary. Where's the suspense?
Listen, I should have had you react to the story that Kim and I did last week. That one was scary.
Alright, let's stay on topic, right? Read the comments. Top comment.
There's no comments.
What? You didn't get the comments? Why didn't you get the comments?
Oh wait, there are.
Why wouldn't there be a comment?
Okay, so it was because it was so long that I was like, oh, this is the story itself. Like, this is it. But anyways, okay, so the top comment is by Chelsea KK. The Hat Man, not Shadow People. I believe that's different. But if you search Hat Man, you will find many similar stories. For a short period of time, I would see him at my university and then outside my apartment window. Personally, I believe he is a gatekeeper. People see him before something happens, or people become more sensitive after in a psychic seance.
I don't like when they name stuff.
What do you mean?
The Hat Man.
The top hat man. I don't think it's.
I don't like when stuff is named. It just makes it scary.
Oh, okay.
It's like, wait. Like,
Have you never seen the shadow hat, top hat man?
why would I see that? My scary perception meter blocks all that out because it's all fake.
Okay.
I'm the guy who doesn't die in scary events, alright? Because I just leave.
No, because you have me.
No, I just leave. You can stay. I'm leaving. I'm not staying with you. We go to a haunted house and like something weird's happening. I'm just like, alright, time to get out of here. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna be interested in anything else. Why would I say it?
You're not
Like,
gonna
oh, we're paying money for
investigate-
this. I don't care. I'm leaving.
You're not gonna investigate with me?
Why would I?
You investigated last week.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Well, I was in our own house.
What about when we heard the scary Christmas music? You didn't want to investigate
We were
that.
moving. We probably left something.
There was literally nothing in the closet.
Well, we don't know that.
I checked the closet. I showed you.
I don't believe it.
To this day, you're still gonna deny it.
What's the next top comment?
So ridiculous. Okay, so we have an update from OP. This happened to my uncle, my dad's brother, and I can't tell you if the hat man was the actual reason he turned into a good person, but what I can tell you is that he changed his behavior drastically, according to my dad, his siblings, and parents. We won't know for sure what went through his mind that night. Maybe he just got completely scared of what he saw, that he didn't want to ever let it happen again.
Apparently, well, the Hat Man is supposed to be about sleep paralysis.
No.
That's what it
I've
says.
literally seen the Hat Man.
No, you haven't. That's what it says right here.
No,
It says it right here.
because I was fully in control of my body when I saw him.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's it doesn't make any sense. Doesn't mean anything.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let me
People
tell
just making stuff up.
Let me tell you about my encounter with the Hat Man.
I'm a scat man.
Well, I call it top hat because it's more like the Abraham Lincoln hat type of situation, you know? So this is also why I hate sleeping by myself. This was when we lived in one of the apartments close to where my parents currently live, like right up the hill, and I literally just saw like a shadow person with a top hat, and I could tell that he had like a long coat on too. Okay, we'll sage again. After these stories, we gotta knock them out because honestly, I hate doing these and having to like sage the house and have encounters again. We're doing this for you guys, okay? Because I don't like this anymore. But anyways, so, and Coco's right here. You see her. I see her.
If Coco's not freaking out, I'm not freaking out.
Coco never freaks out.
Yes, she does. She got senses.
Okay, but oh, well, I guess she does freak out sometimes.
Yeah, right. If Coco's not freaking out, I'm not freaking out.
But also, she stares sometimes, just staring, not doing anything.
She does shake her head, so you never know.
Poor baby. Okay, so getting back on to the story. So I just see him, and I immediately just feel like fear, dread, and then I can't remember how old I was, but I couldn't have been older than 14 because I hadn't had my quinceañera yet, and my cousin didn't live with us yet. This was close to the time.
So I had my own room, and my sister shared a room with my brother, I think, and my parents had their own room. But after this, I talked to my aunt about it because I told her like of this encounter, and she said that it was probably a ghost trying to pass on, and for me to engage with it and ask questions to see if I could help the person pass. So the next time that I saw him, instead of like feeling that fear and dread, I like would ask it questions. It didn't go away, but it just kept staring at me, and I got uncomfortable. So I just like turned my back to him and just went to sleep. Like after I engaged with it, it went away. I never saw him again. See? Her little ears perked up. Coco, don't do that. Now she's just sleeping. Alrighty, well, thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one. We are going to be doing encounters with El Diablo.
Hold on, Coco, what do you want to say? Coco? Coco? Yeah, come over here. Come smell it.
Don't smell it. Coco, don't rub your face on it.
She's saying hello? Okay. Now we can say goodbye. Coco has spoken.
Okay. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more episodes. Drop your comments, suggestions, and thoughts on these stories. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep on living.